In this video, we will show how to create a custom all-over wash in Photoshop. Then we will review the effect in VStitcher. The following will be covered in this video: creating a repeat texture in Photoshop, other Photoshop filters. We will start in Photoshop. Create a new file. We will be making an effect like an acid stone wash to use on the denim fabric. For this example, the following scale will work best for the intended look. Set the size to 2000 by 2000 pixels and the resolution at 72. We will use filters to create the texture. Some filters require that the color mode be 8-bit. Set the color mode to 8-bit. Click Create. First, be sure the foreground color is black and the background color is white. Go to the main menu, Filter tab, Render, Clouds. Let's add more variation. Go to the Filter tab, Render, Difference Clouds. Apply the filter once more by going to the filter and choosing Difference Clouds from recently used filters. We only want to add some white areas to the denim. One way to change the colors so only the lightest areas show is to use levels. Go to Image, Adjustments, Levels. Select the dark arrow on the left of the input levels and drag it to the right so that the white is more concentrated. Now drag the output arrow to mid-gray. Click OK. Now the only colors in the image are white and mid-gray. Using the Material Blending Mode overlay in VStitcher, the mid-gray will not show and only the white will show. We now have a random texture, but it is not tiled. Here is an example. If the texture were scaled to be 50%, then repeated, we can easily spot the repeat. To make the texture repeat, each edge needs to blend with the opposite edge. We can use the Offset filter to help tile the texture. Go to the Filter tab, Other, Offset. A pop-up window appears. Here we can input the horizontal and vertical offset value. To create a repeat, we should set the offset to be half the width of the image. Since the image was 2000 by 2000 pixels, we input 1000 for both options. Be sure the undefined areas is set to wraparound and click OK. Now we see each of the four corners of the image aligned at the center of the canvas. When we blend the line between each section, we create a repeat. A simple way to blend the line is to use the Clone Stamp tool. The Clone Stamp tool lets us replace a section with another selected section. Select the clone stamp from the toolbar. First, we need to select an area to clone. The clone stamp selection uses similar options as the brush. It's best to choose a soft edge brush when we want to blend the cloned area into a new location. Let's choose the soft round brush. Set the size to 200 pixels. Hover the mouse over the location you want to clone. To select the cloned area, hold Alt and left-click. Now when you move the mouse around the canvas, a preview of the selected area follows your mouse. To place the cloned area, click and drag with your mouse, like when using the brush. Crosshairs will show the area that you selected as you drag your mouse. The selection moves relative to your mouse. Be careful not to cross another seam line in the repeat with the crosshair selection area. If you do, the seam line will copy as well. Remember, you can use Ctrl+C or Command+C to undo. When you get to a seam line with a selection area, sample a new section. For easier control, click once, then release, treating the tool more like a stamp than a brush. This makes it easier to notice when you need to make a new selection area. Pay careful attention when blending the canvas edge, especially where the seam meets the edge. Remember that the area should match the same area on the opposite side of the canvas. In this example, the edge looks mainly white at the seam. To blend this edge, sample a section with a similar color to clone. Repeat on the opposite side. Pause here if you need more time to blend the repeat image. Let's save the image as a PNG. We will name it All Over Wash. In VStitcher, we add the image as an artwork. Place the artwork on a pattern piece. With the artwork selected, choose All Over Print from the context view and replace all. Selecting the new group, we can change the blending mode and transparency. Now we have an all over print that adds large areas of color variation. Let's try some other Photoshop filters. First, clone the layer so we can keep the original as well. Use Edit Externally to open the cloned repeat in Photoshop. Let's use filters to create a more textured effect. First, we will add noise. This creates random variations of brightness in the image. Go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise. Set the amount to 50%. Click OK. Let's see how this looks in VStitcher. Go to File, Save. Back in VStitcher, we see the update. Hiding the first layer, we can see the effect of the new layer. This layer creates small concentrated color variation. Hide then show the layer to see the difference. We can adjust the transparency so that it's a bit more subtle. Let's create one more effect. Clone the new layer and use Edit Externally. In Photoshop, go to Filter, Filter Gallery, and click the Texture dropdown. Select the texture option, Texturizer. This blends repeated texture of various materials into the image. Set the texture type to Burlap. Set the scale to 200 and relief to 25. Set the light to right. Now we have a random light and dark texture. Go to File, Save. In VStitcher, we see the update. This effect is very strong. Set the transparency to 92%. Let's change the direction of the texture. Open the image editor and rotate the image layout by 45 degrees. Now we have a third wash effect highlighting small areas in the denim diagonally. In this video, we've learned how to create all-over wash effects. For more information on the topics discussed, check out the lesson description.